If you desire to walk in alignment with your purpose, to live a life of joy, abundance, and fulfillment, you've come to the right place. This is Sarah Locke, and welcome to Purpose Unlocked. Hello, everyone. Today, I'm really excited to be talking to you about the topic of the podcast, which is purpose. I've gotten a lot of questions from my family and friends and other people recently about how do you find your purpose? I have a lot of people that they still feel like they're searching. They feel like they're on this journey and they don't know what it is. And a lot of people look at it as this destination to be reached instead of something that we're just walking in daily. So I want to share with you the 4 steps that I've taken and I think that you can apply easily to your life to find your purpose. I cannot tell you exactly what your purpose is. Even if you answered all of these questions for me directly, this is something that you have to find within yourself. But this is the framework in which to do so. So, step number 1 is you have to start with your problem. Okay, now that might sound crazy, but we all have problems. You have plenty of problems in your life, many of which you've already overcome. So you already have the answer. You're already the expert at that problem, especially if it's a problem that you've had for a long time. It could be something that you're still struggling with. It could be something that you've tried a million different things to solve, but is still something that you really haven't quite gotten the handle of. You might have gotten a lot better. You might have made this problem less painful for yourself, but it's a problem that you're either working through, you've solved partially, or you've solved completely, and perhaps it's something you don't even think about anymore. Perhaps it's something that you've gotten past and you're like, oh, I didn't even realize that I got through that and I learned so much from it. So you're going to start with your problem. For me, this was one of the biggest problems that I've had to overcome was when I went through my divorce. And I was young. I was in my mid-20s and I was just heartbroken. Like I couldn't eat, I wasn't sleeping, and I was just in a really rough spot. Now, the problem that I solved wasn't the divorce itself, but what I solved was the brokenness inside of myself. So we've all been in rough spots, right? So if I can take what I've learned from that brokenness and help others, that's going to drive me so much closer to my purpose, right? Because I'm going to be using that problem to help others. So step number 2 is a little bit what we've been talking about already. Step number 2 is you're going to solve your problem, or you're going to make the problem less painful than it is for you right now. And you can do that in a number of ways. For me, this was reading a ton of self-help books. I really threw myself into the self-help space and I just started consuming information because I was like, anything I can do to help myself in the way that I'm feeling is what I'm going to try to do. So, and again, this problem was obviously a very emotional, very heart-wrenching problem. Your problem doesn't even have to be this big or this crazy. It can be. I hope that it's not. But if you look at someone like Sara Blakely, who I really look up to, she's the inventor of Spanx. Her problem was that she wanted to feel sexier in a tight dress or in white pants. Okay, so she wasn't solving world hunger. She was solving the visual cellulite or what have you. But she took that problem, that was a problem for her, and she was like, you know what? I can solve this. And there's probably other women that want to feel sexy in their clothes. Are there not? So needless to say, she is now a billionaire because she solved that one problem. All right, pretty impressive. So this leads us to step number 3. You're going to tackle step number 1 and 2, and you're going to solve your problem, and you're going to get to the end and be like, well, that was so obvious. I'm sure everybody already knows this. I'm sure that this is very self-evident in the way that I solved this problem. But the truth of the matter is it's not. The truth of the matter is it took you a long time to solve that problem. And if you put a lot of effort into it, the chances are there are plenty of people with your same problem that you need to identify so that you can help. So step number 3 is identifying those people that have the same problem as you. Now, some people may not even realize that they have this problem because it's something that they've been living with for forever. So take the example of Spanx. I've heard Sara Blakely tell her story, and one of the things that she says is when she was pitching her Spanx idea to, I believe it was someone at Nordstrom, she could tell that they weren't picking up what she was putting down. And she actually made this woman go to the ladies' bathroom with her and say, you have to look at how this looks before and after I have the Spanx on under my clothes. So she actually took them off, showed the woman okay, these are my clothes without the Spanx. This is how I look like in my clothes with the Spanx. And there's a very obvious visual difference. So sometimes people take convincing. Sometimes they might not even know that they have the problem because it's just something that they've had to live with. But you could be like, no, look, there's a better way to live. You can have Spanx and look sexy as anything, right? So, so sometimes people might not even realize that they have this problem. For me, again, diving into the personal wellness space and really getting adamant about self-help and understanding these things, understanding our emotions, where they come from, what it feels like to be hurting and be in pain, and then understanding how hurt people hurt people. And this was one of the most eye-opening things for me, because what I realized was when there were people in my life, especially in corporate America, when there were people that had a quick fuse or a short temper or were being nasty or condescending to me, I realized it was because they were actually really insecure about something. They were hurting, whether it was in their personal or professional life. But it really opened my eyes to say, wow, there are a lot of people facing this problem. I'm not the only one who is broken. I'm not the only one who had to deal with something really hard. I'm not the only one that had a really hard time understanding and unpacking my emotions and healing from a lot of stuff. There are certain people that have lived with it for so long and it's so suppressed that they don't even know that it's still a problem. They don't even know that it's hurting them. They don't see that them hurting is still hurting other people. So this is just, it's very mind-opening when you look at your problem, you look at how much you've grown and you've healed, and then you start to identify other people that may have the same problem and how you might be able to help them. So needless to say, there are plenty of people that are going to be facing the same problems that you are, because we're all on this planet together. So identify those people. And then step number 4 is try to help them. Show them over and over and over again that you have what they've been searching for. Help them for free. Volunteer in your spare time. Do whatever it is to be helping people that feel or look like you in the way that you were hurting or struggling with the problem that you were able to overcome. Show them over and over and over again until they actually trust you and believe you, and they allow you to help them solve their problem. And I hope that this happens for you, because it is so fulfilling and it's so rewarding to be able to help someone work through something, especially when it's a struggle that is near and dear to your heart. And when you're able to do that, they're going to tell all their friends. They're going to be excited because no one wants to live with that hurt. No one wants to live with these struggles. So if you're someone that can be solving people's problems, you're going to be an absolute rock star while you walk in your purpose. So those are the examples and the 4 steps in how to find your purpose and how to walk in it. Now, your purpose might change over time. So what was bothering you in one season might be something completely different in another season. You might learn a lot more along your way. So for me, for example, I was really into the self-development space. And then I started realizing that, like I said before, in my co-working environment, a lot of the time I would be placed on teams and be asked to work specifically with very difficult personalities. Now, I'm naturally good at working with difficult personalities. I've found in my corporate life that I'm really blessed to have this higher level of emotional intelligence that I can kind of pick up when something is bothering someone. And because of that, and because I was working with difficult personalities, because I've read all these self-help books now at this point, I'm like, okay, and I can manage this relationship in a healthy way. And because of this, I kept getting put on project with difficult people, which is fine. Honestly, it's fun and it's a challenge. But I thought to myself, I can't be the only person with this skill set, right? Like, this has got to be a teachable skill. And so once you have your problem, you've solved your problem, you have all of this new knowledge, then also try to pair it with something that you're already good at, or you're already passionate about, or something that comes naturally to you that you find fun. So for me, that's managing relationships and helping people, and teaching and training. So once you marry all of those things, the problem that you've solved, all of the things that you've learned, and then the things that you're passionate about, that's where the rubber meets the road, and that's where you're going to be golden, and you're going to be well on your way to living in your purpose. So if you have any further questions, I would absolutely love to hear them. So please leave me a comment. And if this has helped you and you think it might help someone else, please like, subscribe, and share it with them. And until next time, go live in your purpose. Thank you for the precious gift of your time. If you found this helpful, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share with someone you love. Until next time, count your blessings, love yourself, and stay fabulous.